guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft Season 7. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day, except for the fact that it literally just started raining the moment that I hit the record button. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of hate the rain in Minecraft. Just my luck. Anyway, what I want to do today is I want to do some work behind the house. I think it would be really cool to make sort of a warehouse back there, or almost like a shipping station that would be right on the river. It would have some docks attached to it, and it would basically be our deep storage for all of the stuff that we're going to have massive quantities of. Stuff like stone and cobble and dirt and grass. Basically the stuff that we would have multiple double chests dedicated to. I think that would be a really cool project to start with. And it shouldn't be too hard, but before we do that, we got to tackle the river back there and turn it into something that looks a little bit better. So I think we're actually going to start the episode off with a time lapse. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, and the river is looking pretty good. There's still some more we could do with it. Could mix in some other materials into the dirt that we replaced all the gobbledygook with, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. We've got like a nice kind of sand layer here, and then dirt in between, added some greenery. I did notice that this actually needs to be kind of just... There we go. That's going to be a little better. We don't want too much greenery and algae and whatever you want to call it. We want to you still want to be able to see the dirt underneath. You don't want it to be too overgrown. Otherwise, basically, you're trying to avoid the appearance that you just spammed bone meal everywhere, even though you literally just spammed bone meal everywhere. But it's our secret. No one has to know. So what I want to do now is I want to build essentially like a warehouse building, and we're going to grab a couple materials so we can kind of get started on that. I've got an idea for how I want this to look. We just got to kind of figure out where I want to put it. So I'm going to grab some bone blocks. We're going to grab some white concrete, and that will be enough to get us at least started here. And I think I want to center it maybe about here-ish. Is that gonna be about right? I think I actually want it out a little bit more. Let's say like right about here. And then we're gonna go... Yeah, probably just right about, like, this is a good center point, I think. Okay, So let me grab bones. We'll just kind of lay out the foundations of this together. I won't build the whole thing on camera, but just enough that you can kind of get an idea. So we're going to go concrete, bone, bone, and then we'll leave a gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and plop down another bone block. And then over here, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and plop down a bone block there. And then I think what I actually want to do is raise this up quite a bit. So here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. Is that going to be too big? Maybe. Here. And then here. Right? So we've got basically 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 block, and then 5 in between all these, and then we're just going to kick these out 3 more. So here, here, and there, there. All right, I think I've got it sorted out. So basically, I took what we had already done, and I essentially just shifted it a little bit over towards one side. Grab those. We'll just kind of bring these up a little bit. And I'm just now making sure that this is all even. That all seems good. And then we want right here, like a center bit. Okay, so this is now all basically on one level. And we can kind of connect a good chunk of this up so you can essentially see what the shape of this whole thing is going to end up being. So let's just do that. This will be a doorway. This will be a doorway. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. And there we go. That is oh, forgot one. There. So this is essentially the shape that we're going to be working with. But then we're going to build it up, and then the docks will kind of come out into the water to haul stuff, and we'll probably end up adding a little bit of a retaining wall in front, which I think will end up looking pretty nice. So I don't think there's a rule against 2 time lapses in a single episode. Let's do it. And there we go. Another time lapse in the books. The warehouse is all built and looking really good. I like it quite a lot. I think it turned out really well. So a little fly around. We've got kind of a docks area over here where loading and unloading would happen. The idea is that they'd be like, the people that live here would be shipping their resources out. So they'd be shipping them off of these docks here where they could go down the river to, a neighboring town for sale or whatever. What we need to do now is we definitely need to add some detail. I also found out that these lamps are not actually going to shed enough light. So we have an easy fix. If we just drop them down a single block, then we're at 7, which I believe is how high it has to be, or is it 6? I'll have to double check that later. I think it's 7. I think it's light level 7. If not, the comments are going to rage. Don't worry, I'll look it up after I'm done recording this one little clip. But what we can do is we can basically just drop these lamps down a block. And that should give us light level 7, maybe not everywhere, but pretty close. It should definitely give us enough light in here. Everything up above, by the way, I love the way the ceiling in here turned out. I think it looks really nice. Everything up above is spawn proof because it's either it's basically on a slab or a stair. So it's all spawn proof. Nothing's on the upper half of the block. Nothing can spawn up there. There's nowhere for mobs to spawn. So we don't need to worry about lighting that area up. We just need to make sure that the ground is properly lit. And this should do it, I think. I think this will make everything at least light level 7. Or it's like 7 in the corners, and this is like as dark as it gets. So I guess the other thing I suppose we could do is we could just kind of hide some lanterns like back here or whatever. That wouldn't be that big of a deal. We could make it work if we need to. Or we could put stuff back there. In fact, that's kind of what we're going to end up doing. Because what I want to do now is actually fill in these spaces. We have 4 spaces here meant for these 4 resources: stone, cobble, dirt, grass. So if we, and what I kind of want to do is basically sort of build up like a little pile here, right? To sort of show that like this is the stone area. Let's just kind of, you know, build up like a little pile of stone over here. And then over here, this is cobble. So again, we'll kind of build up like a little pile. We don't want the piles to all look the same though. That's pretty important that we avoid that. And that's actually kind of easier said than done. Because I also want to be able to get chests and all that kind of stuff in here. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Might want to see if maybe I can work. It'll just fit a couple more things in over here with the stone one. Because the stone one's kind of the big one. That's the one that's going to take up, you know, quite a lot of stuff, and then I'm going to use a massive quantity of. This should be enough storage though for some time. Same with the cobble, and I think this works. We've now got all of the little areas kind of filled, and we could do something similar but to a lesser extent for like 2 more resources, maybe like sand and gravel. You know, put a couple here, put a couple there. In fact, I think I like that idea. Like, why not go for it? We have the space. Plus, it'll help us actually, you know, fill up the warehouse. A little bit of gravel over here. A little bit of sand, right? Just something like that. I think that works. Don't need a ton of space for this one. We can just kind of do, you know, a couple of chests, maybe a barrel or 2. I want that barrel facing that way. There we go. Go maybe here. Up here, put a double chest, and then maybe like, honestly, that's probably good. Then like up here, we'll throw a double chest, put maybe a barrel right there with a single chest, barrel, and another single chest. You know, just something along these lines, just to kind of help fill up that space. And then for a little extra lighting, let's maybe put a lantern here and a lantern right there, just to kind of help out and make sure that this area is spawn proof, because the last thing we want to do is have a creeper or something explode inside here. That would be kind of disastrous, to be honest. That would be awful. I think that works. This is a really cool little warehouse. I actually love it. And it's such a fun concept for like a deep storage area too. You know, a lot of people would just dig like put a big giant stack of chests underground or something like this. I think this is a lot more fun to design. Basically, a whole building that's just for holding, you know, those resources. I think that's really cool. anyone who may be unaware, I stream almost every day over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Welsknight, link in the description. And I just finished up a live stream, and we actually got a bunch more work done on this little area over here, including basically some detail work. So let me walk you through it. Over on this side, because we had to basically cover up these flat white walls, I added like a little stable over here so that anyone who's working in the warehouse could store their horses over here or whatever. Over on the other side, I added like a little loading station. There was a cart with some stuff in it, barrels, chests, goods basically that would be shipped out that would not necessarily be shipped via the river. And then in the back, I added what I think might actually be my favorite part of this whole thing. And that is this little boat over here. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't claim credit for this design. This was designed by my good friend Whip, who is an absolutely fantastic builder. My nighttime senses are tingling. So Whip, I'll put a link to his channel in the description. Honestly, Whip is a wonderful guy, great builder, and he actually makes content that is quite similar in style to my own. So if you like my videos, you should really go check out Whip, because I'd be very surprised if you like my stuff and you don't like his. As I said, his style, the things that he focuses on are very similar to mine. So he gets my full recommendation. But this is taken from one of his videos. I saw this in a video of his I was watching the other day, and I thought this would be absolutely perfect right here next to this warehouse. The dimensions are just so perfect for this. It's a base of 3 by 7, I believe, and then the whole thing ends up being like 3 by 9, plus a couple of trap doors in the edges here to kind of round it out. And it's just perfect. So we've got basically like a little small boat here, a little river boat that's loaded up with chests and barrels and stuff to have goods shipped out, or maybe they're delivering. Either way, it's right here, and I think it just adds so much to this build. It's just great. Like just look at this thing from up here. Nice aerial view. It's the perfect size. It's so good. I'm so happy with it. Because the thing is, with a river like this, with building like a dock in the river, you can't really put like a full-blown ship in here. It would be way too big, and it would look very out of place. So I needed something that was, a lot smaller, but also still really detailed. And I think this definitely takes care of it. This just adds so much. We also did a couple other very minor things, like adding some bushes over back here, swapping out some of these corners for andesite, just little things. But all in all, we basically just did a bunch of stuff to kind of detail out this area and make it not look as dull, as lifeless. Now, what I'm thinking here for lighting is this. Just a real simple little lampshade design. I'm just going to put down a sandstone wall, grab some oak fences, jump on top here, and we'll go 1, 2, and then another wall. And then we'll grab our spruce trap door, like so, and just put a lantern underneath it, just like that. Just a real simple little lantern design. It's not going to be enough to light up this whole thing, obviously. Just putting some lanterns along the path is certainly not going to be enough. But what it will do is really add some sort of character to this whole little area and just make it look a little bit more interesting. So let's go there, here. You know what? I'm just going to do one of these. There's a little hotbar rearrange. Doink. And if we work some of these in along the path, it's going to look so good. Put one maybe right here. Doink. There we go. So we can just kind of carry that all the way along down here. And then I'm thinking maybe over on this side, I think I just want to put something real simple like that in as well. Just a little lamp, just a little light pole right there in front. Or maybe, I think it would actually maybe be better to just go like a sandstone wall, because I think it would fit the colors a little bit better. Okay, all the lamp posts are in. My sleep sense is tingling again. All the lampposts are in, and I went ahead and I moved all of the storage stuff that I would store down here into the warehouse. So you can see a lot of these stone chests are filled, cobblestone, grass, dirt, you know, etc. A lot of this stuff has been moved down, which has opened up some storage in the main house, which is very, very good. And I was even able to get rid of the little chest monster that was in the corner over there. So that is lovely. Now, I want to start something else, and I may have to spend a little bit of time looking for something. I need a shop. I'm probably not going to be able to finish this in this episode, but I am desperately in need of a shop, and I have been told that leather is one of the most valuable commodities on the server right now. And then on top of that, I also would like a renewable food source so that I don't have to keep buying my food from the shopping district, because even though 2 stacks of golden carrots for a diamond is very reasonable, that definitely adds up over time, and over the course of the entire season, that would be a whole lot of diamonds spent on food. So I'm thinking I want to make a shop, and I'm going to basically sell leather and then keep the steak for myself, or maybe I'll sell steak as well. But in order to get that shop going, I gotta find some cows, and that could be the tricky bit. So I think what I should probably do is get some wheat, maybe take a boat with me, or maybe I should go and buy some slime so I can make some leads. Or actually, I think they just sell leads in the shopping district. But either way, I need to track down some cows and bring them back here. Oh yeah, while I'm here, I should probably mention I'm going to absolutely be voting for Joe for dog catcher, because he's the only person running for dog catcher. So he's kind of running unopposed. And the other thing I should probably do while I'm here is pick up a Hermiton Herald, which is like the local newspaper. This is actually a really cool project. I think Cleo and Cub are the main ones doing it. But essentially, they've got a map which they're using to essentially put out a newspaper, which is just really cool. So I think the way that this works is you take the map, and then you have the local news, and then you can just put it on an item frame or something. And they're actually putting in like a lot of detail and stuff. So I'm going to pick this up so I can keep track of what's going on. But anyway, back to my search for cows. Check it out, my friends. House here. I saw it. There was a cow. It was here. I can hear it. Aha! Hello, you're coming with me. Is there another one around here somewhere? I'll check. But either way, the fact that I'm finding a cow so close to my house is absolutely great. Problem. Must sleep. And there we go. The start of a breeding pair. Now, obviously we're not going to breed up a ton of cows in this tiny little area. And I was just thinking maybe what we could do is we could turn kind of this area over here into kind of a sort of organic looking cow pasture. That might be kind of cool. Let's see what we can come up with. I've got a little cow pen marked out over here, and it's very simple right now. It's just stone, and it's high enough that nothing can jump out. But as a player, since I can actually jump horizontally, I can get out just fine. However, as I said, it's very plain. It's very boring. So now what I need to do is come through here and add some detail to it. Cow pen is all finished and it works. We got some cobble, we got some stone, kind of a mix here. It all should be high enough that cows cannot escape. Should keep them all in there. And we did just kind of a real simple path, coarse dirt, grass, little tiny bit of bone meal in here to kind of just detail it out. So now all we actually need to do is get our cows. Here, cows. There we go. All we need to do is get our cows in here. Ha! You're mine. Trapped forever. Forced to live a life of breeding. Or something. It's a start. It's only 2 cows, but we'll need significantly more. So I was thinking, well, we need a wheat farm to make said cows. What if we put in just a small little garden, like down about here-ish? Right in here. Doesn't have to be anything super big. Just like a little, this would be honestly more for decorative purposes than anything else. But just a small little farm, I think, down there could be really cool. Check it out. Just a nice, simple little farm design. It's basically just sandstone stairs, waterlogged, with some tilled soil in the middle. I think it works really well. And it's not a big farm, but it's enough to get our wheat supplies at least started. I think it's going to look really good. Oh no, it's that time. Sleep. Quickly. It'll be fine. Anyway, this has been a very productive episode yet again. We got our warehouse built. We got a bunch of details added. We got our cow farm started. Hopefully between episodes, I'll be able to breed up a whole bunch of these guys. Might just use some bone meal on the wheat since I have a bunch of it. And we got this whole back area on this side kind of figured out for the most part. So I think I'm happy with our progress, and I'm willing to call it right here. My friends, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, where I am streaming Hermitcraft almost every day. But other than that, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.